Hello, guys. This is FK, and just like exams, interviews can put you under a whole lot of pressure. Sometimes in the exam you've read, but you will get into the exam hall and format. Like your entire brain will feel formatted, and you probably will need some time to cool down before those things that you read start coming back. The same type of thing can happen in an interview setting. If you have gone to any tech interview before, you've experienced it. I've experienced it myself. I've flopped a lot of interviews, but in this video I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be telling you rather, the things I've learned, the skills I use this day to just walk into any interview and blast it. In fact, I'm not trying to brag, but for a long time I've not been under any panic doing any type of interview, and I'm going to be telling you the secrets that have led me to that stage in this video. So let's get started overcoming panic in our interviews. So the first thing you need to do to make sure that you don't panic during a tech interview, and this is a very obvious one, prepare well. Yeah, prepare well. That one is on you. Just make sure that you have prepared well for the interview, because if you don't prepare well, that is the first factor that is going to cause panic when you're doing the interview. For every interview, you kind of know what you're going for. For example, if you're going for a React interview, you know that definitely you have to know a whole lot of React, and also you probably are going to be asked some core JavaScript questions and stuff like that. Topics like HTML, CSS might not be really something to look out for, but you know that React is number one. You have to have some very solid fundamental JavaScript knowledge, and sometimes they might dabble into a little CSS there, a little HTML here and there. So you want to master the main topics. For example, if you're going for a React interview, you want to make sure that you've mastered React very, very well according to the scope of the type of job you want to get. If you want to get a junior role, you know the kind of scope you should be looking at. If you want to get the senior role, you know that you have to think of things like design patterns and testing and stuff like that. So you pick the highest probability topics, the React, JavaScript. You study those ones very, very well. Now the low probability ones, just have an idea, just have a good idea of them, do a little thing on it. But the main ones, you have to make sure that you've been practicing it. In fact, I believe that you should even be grounded in these topics, because that's why you're going for the interview in the first place. So the core topics that are going to be asked during the interview, you want to make sure that you first nail these ones. You make sure that you prepare for them very, very well. But other ones that you kind of think will come out, make sure that you have an idea. Make sure that you do some study. It can be one article, it can be one blog post, it can be a YouTube video. Just make sure you have an idea so that you know that you've covered every part of it. And some of those things, when they try to push you further in some of those areas that you didn't really study, you can make them understand that, yeah, I have an idea of this thing. I'm not super grounded in it, but they know that definitely these are things that are secondary based on the scope of the interview. And yeah, they understand why you might not be in depth in those things, but they would appreciate the fact that you have an idea of how those things work, how those concepts work, or how those technologies work. So the first thing you want to do is prepare very, very well. Good preparation is your first step to gaining confidence in facing any type of tech interview. So prepare well. This one is on you. So the first thing, now this is the first strategic thing. Like I said, the first one is very, very obvious. Prepare. You definitely have to prepare for your interview. But the second thing is that try and do a mock interview with your peers. Yeah, try out a mock interview with your peers. Get one of your colleagues to act as an interviewer and time yourself. Be on the clock. Let them give you code problems to solve. Let them ask you questions. Define this, explain this. What will you do in this situation? What will you do in that situation? It helps you, for example, for the coding, it helps you overcome your, all those jitters you feel when you are trying to code during an interview, when you're trying to code in front of somebody. And for things like explaining concepts, defining terminologies and everything, it helps you to smooth out your delivery. Smoothing out your delivery, because in front of your friends you can make mistakes, and they can also advise you, oh, take it this way, take it that way, oh, you missed it, oh, you missed that, and everything. Have a dry run. Yeah, do a dry run of your interview. Get somebody, a colleague, a mentor, a friend, an acquaintance, someone that you can just call, someone that knows about the field and can ask you questions. Even someone that doesn't know anything about the field, you can draft out a bunch of questions and give it to the person, and the person will ask you, and you put yourself in that interview mode. Have a dry run, and it will help you solidify your delivery. So that is one thing I will strongly advise. design a mock interview. Do it once, twice, or 3 times before the interview. And when you get to the interview, honestly, you would see the benefits. The benefits will be very, very evident because you'll be more confident, you will have better control of your hands, and your faculties are going to be delivering things smoothly. So the next strategy or tactic on my list is that you should see your interview as a conversation. Yeah, because that's what it is. Make it human. You're talking to human beings. You're not talking to robots. And I know that we all have this fear. Oh, if I look the wrong way, if I say the wrong thing, if I type the wrong thing, you just see that interviewer will just look down and write something and be like, oh my god, they just cut me down. Oh my god, they just they just wrote they just used a big red pen on my name. Calm down. Just calm down. Make it a conversation because that's what it is. Make it human. Don't put yourself on the clock until they do so. For example, when you start the interview and they're just asking about your name, asking about what you do, your passion, use that time to relax. You're not on the clock yet, so just relax, feel free, shed all that panic, and just talk. Just talk. It is two people speaking a particular language, and they just want to hear you. They just want to know you. So don't put yourself under the clock when they've not even put you under the clock for a coding test or anything, or don't panic when they are not there to hurt you. They're not there to make you fail. They want to see you deliver the best of yourself. And if you are panicking, you are not going to be able to deliver the best of yourself. So just relax. You're talking with a bunch of people. These days when I do interviews, honestly, not to brag, I don't even super prepare for a lot of interviews these days. And it's because I see it as a conversation. I already know what I know. I'm going to prepare myself towards the interview. But once the interview starts, I'm not we're going to talk, and it's an interview where there's many of us competing for the job. So even if I put out my best and we're three in the top three, they might not pick me. Yeah, they might still not pick me. So I know that an interview is not a true test of how good I am. It's just for them to see the best set of people and make their decision. And I'm going to give my best and hope that I come out on top. So just relax. They want to know you, and you can only deliver your best self if you're not under pressure. So remove the pressure, make it human, and you'll see yourself perform a lot better than before. So at this point, I'm going to be digressing a little bit. I've mentioned several times that I'm preparing a mentorship program. I'm still working on that. I want to be able to deliver something, a program that will make sure that I know will churn out the best version of tomorrow's programmers. So like I said, if you want to keep tabs on when the mentorship program is going to start, remember to subscribe to my newsletter. The link is in the description. Remember to subscribe and you will get notified immediately it started. If you're interested, or you know that someone that is interested, you can inform them. And we're going to have a wonderful time doing that. So I just thought to say that right now. Now, the fourth thing I'm going to talk about is focus on listening than trying to impress them. Yeah. Focus on listening than trying to impress them or looking impressive. See, understanding the instructions is the biggest tool you have in your bag when you're doing an interview. Because that's even one of the things they are testing. A lot of times when they are talking, you just, okay, you want me to do, okay. And you just start coding. You answer questions too fast. No, calm down. Understand the question properly. Understand their requirement. What do they really want? If they tell you to write a React component, it should be, you confirm, should it be able to do this? Yes. Should it be able to do that? Does it need to do this? No. Do I need to use this? No. Clarify all your doubts. Don't assume. Yeah, don't assume during an interview. Anything you don't understand, ask. Ask them. Like I said, make the conversation human. They are human beings. Ask them. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Sometimes you don't, probably because of a lot of intonations and stuff like that. You probably didn't hear the instruction very well. Tell them to repeat it. Tell them to repeat it, or probably type it somewhere where you can read it properly. You're not scoring. A lot of time we just want to be perfect. We don't want to, if I ask question, they will think I don't know what I'm saying. They will think I don't know what I'm doing. They will think I can't listen very well. They will think my English is not good. No. Asking questions means that you want to get the best result. So it shows them that you are really interested in making sure that you get the right answer. Ask questions. If you don't hear something very, very well, ask them to repeat it. They will repeat it. It's their job to help you. So focus on listening. Listen very well than trying to impress. Focus on that. And you will see that at the end of the day, these things are not even as complicated as you think. And sometimes once they see that you understand the instructions enough to be going in the right direction, even if you don't eventually get to the right answer, they will give you marks for that, and some will just pass you for that. So focus on listening, ask questions. You're not there to impress. The fifth advice I'm going to be giving is that you should take note of their instructions. And when I say take note, I mean literally take notes. Yeah. If for example, mostly for coding interviews, and even when you want to maybe do a design, UI UX, you want to do a design, they are explaining what the task is all about. Take notes. Like, come with a jotter and take notes. Let them know you are taking notes, so that it won't be as if you are looking somewhere else. I do it a lot. I'll be like, oh, sorry, I'm actually taking notes. That's why I'm not. Oh, that's fine. Take notes, because they are probably going to say 5 things. You want to put all those 5 things in your head, you most likely forget. Now you start doing the task, you remember that, oh, they said something number 3. I can't remember what number 3 is all about. And probably you've even gone the wrong direction already, and they've seen that you're going the wrong direction because you didn't remember the 3rd step. Take notes. Create a React component create a dialog box using React as a component. It should take in this number of props. It should have these buttons, and it should collect this information. Don't try and prove that you're a machine. Write all those things down. And as they're saying it, write it down. Because understanding those things, getting those instructions right, will make your work way easier. It will make your work way easier. So literally take notes. Except it's an interview, probably just a personality interview, you're just having a discussion, or probably like a lot of senior interviews whereby they're just asking you questions about, okay, if you find yourself in this scenario, you find yourself in that scenario. And even some of those kind of questions, you still need to take some notes, because they want to understand maybe some trade-offs, some assumptions you're going to make, and some compromises you might need to make to your architecture to make it, to get the most scalable, or to optimize it for speed, or to optimize it for availability and stuff like that. So take notes. Just write things down, write instructions down. And honestly, once you have it clearly written down, you'll be able to attack your problems much better. Now, the last strategy, the last point, or the last advice I'm going to be giving is that if it's a coding question, or let's say UI UX or design, where you have to design a particular thing, once you have gotten all the instructions, take your time to plan out your strategy before you start. Yeah, I know a lot of us, we just want to start coding. If I'm just looking and I'm not doing anything, when they ask me what I'm doing, let me just start writing something. Okay, const this equals to require. You don't have a strategy yet. You have all the instructions. You have not defined your strategy yet. You just want to start writing so that they will know, and you're on the clock and all that. Yeah, you can be on the clock, but if they say something is 20 minutes, look at that clock. Don't panic. Look at that clock. Break it down in your head. I'm going to use the first 5 minutes of that 20 minutes to define, to know my strategy, to define my strategy. There was an interview I was doing at TopTal. I just wanted to be impressing the guy. The whole thing was looking confusing. I didn't take my time to define my strategy. I just kept coding. At the point, the guy was like, stop. I was like, I want to do it. He said, no, just stop. You're not going to be getting this thing. There's no way we're going to be moving you forward. Like, he told me point blank. And it was because I was just under so much pressure to impress them. Let them just start seeing code flowing on the screen. Calm down and tell yourself, okay, I'm supposed to build this React component, okay? Or okay, this is how I'm going to, this is the name I'm going to call the component. These are the props it's going to take in. This is how I'm going to pass in a variable that is going to control this button. This is when this button is clicked, this is the function is going to call. It doesn't have to be the actual code. You can use pseudocode, name your functions, don't write them and everything, and then you can start coding. You will see the kind of smoothness and speed you'll be using to code. Why? Because you planned first. Like I said, don't try to impress. Follow instructions and you will come out impressive. Don't try to impress or create a sense that, oh, you're doing something. These people can see through you. They can see through you. There is a reason why they are sitting on the interview board. They know what they are doing, and they know when you are doing the wrong thing. So, and they're watching you. They're watching every line of code you write. And what they're most likely looking for is if you have a plan. So you just nod. You didn't write anything down. You didn't have a strategy. You just nodded and you started writing. You would probably fail. except you've seen that question before. Even when you know what to do, still take a bit of a time to plan, because you can miss some few details out and it will spoil your entire work. So please, please, please take a few minutes to plan what you want, the task you want to execute. Plan it. Don't allow the clock control you. Control the clock by breaking it down and using it effectively. So that's all the tips I'll be giving you today to make sure that you overcome panic during your tech interviews. Tech interviews are just an opportunity to meet a particular company and show them your best. And you can't show your best if you're panicking. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Remember to subscribe for more videos, and see you in another one. Bye.